Internet, hello, you absolute lovelies. My lights just turned off, so one moment we are going to go live with proper lighting in seconds. I hope you are doing well today. It is a Sunday. I've never done a live on a Sunday. I'm not sure how that'll go over. I was trying to set up a microphone. I got a mic. We're upgrading everything, but I didn't get it set up in time because I didn't have the right plug-in. So this is an impromptu Sunday live. I hope you're having a good weekend. If you're new to this page, I cover lots and lots of comic books. I read 50 to 70 comics a week. And now that we've hit 50K, I'm going to be mailing 50 comics to you. Dear viewer, one of you is going to get 50 of my comics mailed directly to you. And since we're almost at 51K, whoever I pick to get that comic, since we're a little over 50, I'm also going to send one comic, an exclusive DC book from San Diego Comic-Con that only came out at San Diego Comic-Con. And since I'm in it, if you want, I'll sign it if you want. So I'm going to be doing 51 comic giveaway now that we've hit 50K. So hit that subscription bell. Today, we're going to be talking about The Batman 2 and that being in pre-production. Everyone waited a very long time for that Batman 2 script. Everybody was always upset at where it was. And now that we've got some movement, a lot of people aren't talking about it, which is odd, like comparatively. Like people are obviously excited, but it's odd that, we had all these complaints and now it's happening. And a lot quieter joy as opposed to negative, which is the internet in its way. So I want to bring some positivity and talk about those Batman 2 updates. Also, Spider-Man Brand New Day is a cooking in Glasgow, Scotland. Going to be talking all about those updates. I did a bit on that earlier in my last This Week in Comics on Wednesday, but we got a beautiful 1-minute day one video from Harry Holland, Tom's brother, and I want to break that down a little bit as well. And then we got a little bit of news of just some debunking. James Gunn, I am very glad, uses the internet. I don't know how he does it with all the other things he's doing, but I'm very glad he's out there just shutting down stuff. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Plus, we got some super chats already in. I don't always get time to check everything in the live chat, but I do see a lot of familiar names. We got Michael McCarsell in here. We got Duger. We got Scott Welsh, a lot of lovelies in the chat. I will get to every single super chat, however. So if I don't get to the regular chat, I promise to get to every single super chat. We've already got a bunch in here on this fine Sunday. I'm going to do those after the first news story. So first up, The Batman 2. Guys, The Batman 2 is going forward rather quickly. The script was handed in a little over 2 weeks ago, I think. No, about a month ago now. We're a little bit deeper into August than I remembered. But the script was handed in. Mattson Tomlin, you might know him from Berserker. You might know him from the Terminator Netflix adaptation. You might know him from some of his work on The Batman. Mattson Tomlin, incredible writer, big fan of this dude as a human. And Matt Reeves, director, world builder, excellent writer extraordinaire, have handed in their The Batman 2 script. And in doing so, it was approved. We got a green light on The Batman 2. It seemed like it didn't need a ton of rewrites because it is already moving forward. The script is greenlit. Things are in pre-production. Now, all of that was said during the earning call with Warner Brothers. And in that same call, they had said a spring 2026 production date. What it looks like is actually happening is it's moving forward a little faster because a fairly credible source, there are a number of production sites. So that is for sure. Variety's reported on it. It was during an earnings call. All of those things are happening. Spring 2026 production is for sure. The rumor, the thing that is not as sure because it is through fairly solid channels, but a number of production sites, the actual business side of production, have said they are crewing up. They're getting, the below the line team. They're hiring, gaffers and lighting and the actual crew itself, as well as starting to look for background actors and stuff, potentially, and this is the rumor, for a January 1 production start to start filming as soon as the new year, like on New Year's Day. And that is very exciting. So that's tricky because production sites could just be saying like early spring and they set a January 1 date in order to ramp things up, or it could actually be starting to film on January 1. So it's very possible this movie starts filming as soon as 4.5 months from now for that October 2027 release date. The reason I bring all this up is, one, it's exciting to see this moving, and it's exciting to talk about the positive, exciting to have this actually moving and grooving, getting some Batman actually happening with the quickness. But two, this would imply to me, with an October 2027 release date, another DCU, but not in the DCU. Sorry, I should say another DC Studios 1 year in post-production possibility. So if that's coming out in October 2027, this could very well be wrapped completely well before October 2026. And that would give it a year in post, which I think be lovely. Give it some time to actually, get visual effects, get done, get made. So I think this is fantastic. I'm very excited about the movie in general. I'm very excited that the Batman and Batman in the DCU are staying separate. I think Pattinson's Batman being over here and Superman being over here and having a new Batman with Superman over here in the Justice League is the move. Tonally, I think it's much better, and I want two Batman. If I can have a Detective Batman and a Justice League Batman, I will be very happy, boys. So that is the updates there. And while we're talking about the Batman, guys, we don't know if Robin's in it. There is, credible, belief. There's credible belief he might be. Robert Pattinson has talked about wanting Robin in it. There has been discussion, but we don't know that he's in it. The rumor came out late last week or late this week stating that Robin was in the film, and James Gunn had to come out and say, and I quote, let's see, where is the quote? James Gunn had to come out and say, quote, guys, please stop believing this nonsense. I think 6 of us have read the script. No one knows anything about the Batman 2. So if 6 people have read the script, I doubt any of those 6 have personally leaked it, and therefore everything you're hearing is potentiality, but is all hearsay. The movie does not have any sort of way it would be leaked beyond the script, because there is no production of hiring. We're not that far along yet. So everything you're hearing is just someone saying Robin's in it, and then maybe. But maybe not. So maybe wait for the movie. I do think that scoop culture is very dangerous for the industry, because best case scenario, something too early and it's kind of just waiting for it to happen and the anticipation builds. Or worst case scenario, the thing you want doesn't turn out to be in the movie, and then a lot of ignorant people blame the movie for not being the thing they wanted it to be, even though they were the ones making the movie. So I think scoop culture is a bit of a mess. It's tricky because I like talking about movies, and I've gotten stuff wrong. I thought Moon Knight season 2 was greenlit, and I've been very public about being like, nope, I'm sorry, it wasn't the case. As soon as I heard that wasn't the case, I told you guys. But I think scoop culture is really dangerous when you're seeking that stuff, and there's a fine line between just like spoiling the movie and marketing the movie. And so yeah, Robin, we will see. But that big rumor that spread, James was like, guys, 6 people have read it. You wouldn't know. And we'll see from there. Also, while talking of the debunking of things, we're going to talk about Superman a little later. This rumor or conversation around $650 million being needed to break even, also preposterous and debunked. So we'll talk about Superman breaking some box office records in a little bit. Going to talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day next, however. But first, we've got some super chats, you lovelies. I want to make sure we get to all of these amazing super chats from you wonderful folks, starting with Shane Adams. Shane Adams with the first super chat. Thank you very, very much. Shane asks, have you ever watched Supernatural? If you like Hellblazer comics, you'll love the show. Also, I'm reading Kevin Smith's Green Arrow and loving it. First of all, love Kevin's Green Arrow. I think it is delightful. I think it's one of the better Green Arrow runs. I love Green Arrow right now. I think the current Green Arrow run is one of my favorites ever. I think the Green Arrow Longbow Hunters book is one of my favorites. I think Green Arrow, Green Lantern team-up book, I forget what it's called, is. And we're back. So sorry about that, you lovelies. I'm going to see if we can edit that from the replay. But in the meantime, I'm very sorry for that minute of pure chaos. Just completely dropped out in black. But we are back. I was just saying Green Arrow. I really love Kevin Smith's run. I totally agree. And was about to say I have not, in fact, seen Supernatural. Supernatural is one of those giant fandoms that I totally respect and appreciate and admire, but is far too big for me to jump back into with so many seasons. It's one of the reasons I don't read manga. It's just the volume of it. Reading 50 to 70 comics a week, I barely have time to watch much less something that is as big as Supernatural. So unfortunately, I have not seen it, but I got a lot of respect for Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki and the way they are with fans. I just haven't checked that one out. But I do love Hellblazer, so I'm really excited for any more Hellblazer we ever get in the DCU. But that show is a blind spot in my pop culture knowledge. Next up, we've got Call Me Jabba with a part 1 and part 2. Thank you very much, Call Me Jabba. Call Me Jabba asks, what if DCU's Batman is Dick filling in for a missing Bruce with Damian as his violent Robin? Flashback show Dick's training as Robin, departure as Nightwing, and then second one is Bruce growing dark after Jason's death. The story concludes with Bruce as Batman, Nightwing, and Robin reunited, setting up for potential Red Hood sequel. I love the mythos of the Bat family. I personally like a more lean Bat family. I think it's gotten too big, but I don't think they would ever do a DCU Batman without Bruce, especially to start. I think maybe, 15 years into some lore, having a non-Bruce Batman, but I don't think starting a universe with a non-Bruce Batman really makes sense. You need to cement Batman as who he is, and that's Bruce Wayne. You don't need the origin, obviously, but I think you need to make sure your Bruce Wayne is locked and loaded. So I don't see them personally doing that, but I do like the idea of juggling, having Damian Wayne as Robin and then having Dick Grayson as Nightwing, I think is likely. I think we are getting a Dick Grayson fully formed as Nightwing, Batman already established as Bruce Wayne, like already deeply into his career, and then Damian being the new Robin. I think that is likely, but that could still lead to Red Hood down the line. I just don't think they'd start with the Bruce Wayne not as Batman element. Thank you very much for the double super chat there. Call me Java. I appreciate it. Next up, we've got Robert Pruser. Thank you, good sir. Pruser, how are you? Saying, I really think the MCU should do more special presentations with the Mutant Saga. 1, maybe 2 a year. Can tell great stories and set things up that they don't need a movie for. Nightcrawler is a good one. I personally think 45 minute to hour long origins would be amazing, because I don't think we're going to be able to do like a Storm movie as much as I want one. I think that's the one we should do if we're doing a solo movie, because it's so cinematic. Could be a really big, like Roland Emmerich-esque weather epic origin film. It's so cinematic too, with Cairo, Egypt, and like her claustrophobia and all the powers and the goddess. Anyway, I would do a Storm movie, but I think characters, like Kitty Pryde should get special presentations, and Nightcrawler would be a great one. Budget's an issue though, like how much budget you can allocate to the special presentations. I do think they're kind of like slow in their roll and recalibrating the volume of content they're doing. So we're really going to see what is what as the amount of stuff we're getting as the X-Men roll out. But I would love to see special presentations of the X-Men. It's something I've been talking about for, I think since Werewolf by Night. I've been saying that's the tactic they should take with X-Men. So I agree with you, and I would love to see it. Time will tell if and when they do that volume of content again. Thank you again. Next up, Lydia Hollowmore asks, thank you, Lydia. Have you seen Disney's Hercules? If not, I'd love to see you react to it on Real Rejects, because before Guns came out, it was easily my favorite Superman film. I love you calling Hercules a Superman film. I totally see that. I have seen it, but I totally see that tone. It is actually my fiance's favorite Disney movie. I like it. It's not my favorite, but I like it. Emperor's New Groove for life. Aladdin, Lion King, Emperor's New Groove of the modern era, post-classic era, whatever you want to call it, is my favorite. But Hercules is awesome. It's a blast. It is on at my house a lot. It's one of her comfort movies. It's on all the time, and I love it as like a Superman parable. That's really fun. And thank you for the super chat. Robert Pruser back in action with another one. Question. I'm honestly tired of people saying Sadie Sink is going to play the real MJ. Zendaya is MJ. They just changed her name slightly, but the initials are the same, and she's Peter's main love. I think she's CC. And then he follows up in regular live chat. Carly Cooper. Sorry, I ran out of room. Respect. I don't think she's going to be MJ. That's crazy. I think, maybe a multiverse thing, but I like not even the multiverse MJ, like a multiverse character. I don't think she is a redhead, yes, but I don't think casting someone that plays another version of Mary Jane or MJ makes any sense. I don't think that's what's happening. I think that would very much undermine Zendaya, and spoiler alert, Tom and Zendaya are really together. So I doubt that would happen. I don't think anyone wants that, or Tom would let that be a story they told. And also, like, Zendaya is an impossibly high bar. That would be a hell of a struggle. I could see them navigating another love interest because, MJ doesn't remember him, but that wouldn't be another Mary Jane love interest. It'd be another character love interest. That is an infinite realm of possibilities, right? We got so many characters in Spider-Man lore, but at the same time, Sadie Sink, I personally think the Jean Grey rumor is the one that excites me most. starting X-Men in other movies, letting the characters grow to come together as a team. Also, Sadie Sink, I don't want as a one-off. She's incredible. She should be in this for a long time. Like a 10-year plan for Sadie Sink, not a one-off movie. If that's what she wants to do with her career, post Stranger Things, I'd love to see her as Jean. So yeah, we will see. All right, we came back. Everything broke. We came back. People are excited about the Sunday stream. Hippo Nipple. Hippo Nipple's got a funny name. Thank you for the super chat, Hippo Nipple. Can you please explain the 1 star you gave Snowpiercer? Yeah, I don't like that movie very much. I think it is. I think people think it's smarter than it is. Like, it's got a lot of big problems. I'm, as you know, I have problems with capitalism as much as the next guy, more maybe. But like the train functionality doesn't work ever, and then the climax is like the car with all of the drugs that make you hallucinate is right next to the main driving part of the train, and there's no like seals, so you'd just be getting high and driving and messing that up. And the idea of the train, like, it just doesn't work logically, and that made me not able to really enjoy it. I also thought it was a little over the top. Yeah, didn't really like Snowpiercer. It is what it is. And no problem. I like off-topic super chats. And I love that a lot of people love it. I just don't. That's why I've never reviewed it. Not my thing. And I tend to not review movies that aren't my thing. Thank you very much. We're going to do a few more of these and then jump into the Spider-Man brand new day news. Next up, we've got Brad Johnson. Thank you, Brad, for the super chat. Hey, this makes me happy. First stream I've caught live. Love to see it. Lifelong Spider-Man fan. Truly think it's a reason for me becoming a firefighter. Dude, that is awesome. Respect. New Spider-Man gave me Spider-Man 2002 vibes. It gives me hope in a way that's so fresh. Loved it. Okay, Brad Johnson. I'm going to get to the rest of the super chats after this, because we're going to go right from Brad Johnson praising Spidey into talking about Spider-Man brand new day. Let's do that. I agree. I think this is a lot of hope. I think it feels fresh and exciting. I hope the color grading is like Harry Holland's video. I think it looks vibrant and bright and exciting. I love that day one of filming, Tom Holland's out there shaking hands and meeting kids dressed as Spider-Man. It feels so wholesome and right and like Spider-Man. I agree. And Brad Johnson, thank you for being a firefighter. What a selfless job. What an incredible thing you've done with your life. Thank you. I have a ton of firefighters. I have a ton of volunteer firefighters, as well as whatever the non-volunteer is, like professional paid. Well, volunteer are also professional. I have tons of my family that are both volunteer and regular firefighters, and it means the world to me that people risk their lives to save others. It means a lot. So, Brad Johnson, hell yeah. And thanks for joining the super chat and the live, man. I appreciate you being here first live. That is awesome. Let's talk about the Spider-Man brand new day footage. So lots of footage has come out of Glasgow, and I think it's really smart marketing. We get a year of Spider-Man marketing. From now until July 31st, when it's released, we get like hype for a full year. We get this footage that's coming out. I'm glad they're blocking off filming today so we don't get any story stuff leaked. I imagine they're filming the outside stuff that's like web swinging and fun to get used to that, and then they'll be filming story-based stuff today, and they're blocking crowds. I love that. I don't want story. I just love hype, and I love Spider-Man web slinging. Spoiler alert, he's the web slinger. He's going to web sling. So I think that's great. I think this is a really smart way to remind people how much they love the character. I think putting out today's video, the day one video, to remind us how much Tom loves the character, to remind us how much heart there is in this whole production, to show us the glee, him bouncing, like the little shot of him like skipping next to Destin Daniel Cretton, the director. That's Spider-Man right there. Some of the poses he's making, like all of that. And it's a minute long. This minute trailer is one of the best pieces of marketing I've seen in a very long time. And I love that it's shot by Tom's brother, Harry. I presented the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer with Tom. It was right, like fresh, like COVID was still a big problem, but the lockdowns were easing and it was really intense. It was one of the first, Tom was one of the first people I like was within 6 feet of in a long time. And I met Harry at that event, and Harry was filming the whole thing. And it was really funny seeing his brother and seeing how professional he was, and really like he was such a good videography and he was so tuned in. And you never know what the footage is going to look like, right? Like I was always curious, is it, you know, his little brother has this passion and it's a fun little brother thing, or what's the footage? And I got to see some of the stuff he shot of me and Tom and of that day. It was the biggest trailer release of all time. And now to see him getting to be professionally involved with the production, getting this marketing out, getting to actually be involved with something as big as a day one release, the first bit of official marketing outside of the suit reveal, like that little soundstage shot. This is the first thing since that, and it's so special to see. So I love, you know, the family Holland getting to celebrate this Spider-Man mythos, and the footage looks gorgeous. I mean, this is absolutely stunning. It's a minute long. If he hasn't seen it yet, there's no spoilers because it's just from the day one of stuff. It does show Tom talking about like this time it feels different, like he's in the suit. It's the first time day one involved fans near set. A lot of really special stuff in that 1 minute. And I just loved it top to bottom. So do check out that footage. And I love what they're doing with marketing so far. I love how alive this feels. I love how Spider-Man it feels. He is a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and it feels like we all get to be in that neighborhood. And that is so very special. I love Spider-Man so much. So yes, one more year and we get to see this beast. I'm so excited. And between now and the release, we get to find out who the villain is. We get to see more suit ups. I think we're going to go with a comic accurate Scorpion. I think we're going to see a lot of comic accurate characters. I think we're going to get a montage or two. A lot of villains can fit doing this correctly. That's what Brand New Day, the comic, did. I think the movie's going to follow suit. A brand new day for Spider-Man is coming. I'm so excited. Okay. End of Spider-Man thoughts. Go watch that video. I might do a little like not reaction because I've already seen it, but like commentary on it. Haven't decided yet. We will see. But yeah, next super chat. Thank you very much for all these super chats. Very excited for Spider-Man. That footage is amazing. I love the shot of him holding the viz, like looking at the camera footage and like playing the playback. There's the word. Looking at playback in the Spider-Man suit. It's so Spider-Man. Him like kneeling, looking at playback. Oh, makes me happy. Next up, we've got John Tyson. Let's see here. John Tyson, thank you very much for this very kind super chat, good sir. John Tyson says, just wanted to share. My wife has now started buying comics when we go to our local shop. And if she likes a cover, we frame the issue and hang it. We have a few throughout the house. Comics is now something we do together. John Tyson, that is beautiful. I love that so much. That makes me so happy. Yeah, my relationship with comics is so strong that my relationships in life are either like they're part of it or they love me enough that they want to know enough that we do share in that. Anya's gotten into some comic books. She's not, framing stuff. That is beautiful. But like she didn't read a comic until she met me, and now she's read some. We talk about them. We talked a lot about Superman after seeing it, and it's really cool. You can share with your partner and get to have that that joy of communicating why you love stuff and what it is to be. So yeah, I mean this is. My brain is this type of stuff. Like this room is my brain externalized. And it's really cool when she's interested in any of it. So I love that you got that experience, man. And that makes me really happy. So love that you do that together. Family. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Mad Dog. Mad Dog's back with a super chat. Mad Dog asks, just got Marvel Unlimited. Any Rex? I'm in a Spider-Man mode. I would read The Kid Who Collects Spider-Man. It's dark, but it's great. I would read Nothing Can Stop the Juggernaut. I would read the J. Michael Straczynski first two volumes. It starts with issue 30 of volume 2. I would read, I'm a sucker for Ultimate Spider-Man to this day. I think the Ultimate Spider-Man run is perfect. I'd read the whole damn Ultimate Spider-Man from 2000. That's all on Spider-Man Unlimited. 2000, just read the whole thing. Have a good old time. It's hundreds of issues. 144 for the main run. If you want to go X-Men, I think God Loves Man Kills is great. New X-Men is great. Astonishing X-Men is solid. If you want to go, it's kind of like X-Men and Spider-Man season in pre-production. If you want to go Avengers, I would check out Bendis' New Avengers. That feels tonally like what they did with a lot of the characters in the films, as well as characters I think they're bringing in. That's a lot of reading. I just gave you at least 3 months worth if you're reading hard. So check those out, good sir. Sensational Spider-Man's really fun. Untold Tales of Spider-Man's really fun. A lot of good Spidey. All right. I hope that answered your question, Mad Dog. Mike K. Thank you for the super chat. As I've gotten older, I've begun to realize that I don't need to know anything about movies beyond 5 months of its release. Yes, I have to for work, but I've often thought about how excited I am to not know. Like I'm saving as much money as I can because I think AI is going to take over a lot of jobs and eventually even mine. And it's exponential. So I do think there's going to be a real shift. And so I'm trying to throw as much money in the bank to be prepared to have this job not exist. But I also think when that day comes, I'll get to enjoy movies again in a different way. I love talking movies with you guys. I mean, it's incredible. I get to do this. I'm so appreciative. But I do know that I know too much about movies when I go into them. I do know that, like, I got off social media entirely for Superman because I didn't want anyone else's opinion to shape mine. but I also know I had seen a lot of behind the scenes and making of, and I thought that marketing was good at holding things back. But I would love to only watch one trailer and then go see a movie. And that's what I'll do in the future when this isn't my job. So I completely agree and respect that, Mike. Enjoy whatever balance you can find, man. Spidey Sensei 72. Thank you very much, Spidey Sensei. Great to see you. It's House Fun Man Cave donation, Koi. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I admittedly, this is the next thing. And then I might put lights back here to give a little distance from the wall. And then I feel like the studio is pretty good and set up, so I appreciate that. And when this place is set up, not only will this echo be better because I'll be on a mic, but I'm going to give you guys a little tour. But as of right now, we got comics over there, giant thing of comics. Set up a little. We got Blu-rays over there. All my art is right over there. But when this is all set up, like fully man caved up, I will be doing like a little video tour. That'll be fun. Thanks for being a positive voice in the comics geek community. It's hard, so I appreciate that very much. There's way too much negativity out there now, and your work in the space is greatly appreciated. I had an especially exhausting week with that. All of the box office is down. It's a trackable, provable fact. Superman passed, I'm going to talk about this next, but Superman passed Jurassic World domestically, and everyone's like, Superman failed. And that's one, not true, but two, it shows that Jurassic is usually a $1 billion behemoth. It is probably going to end a little over 800. That is a 20% drop. That is substantial. And everyone's ignoring anything but wanting to shit on comic stuff. So I'm trying to say the canary in the coal mine is Jurassic. I think Fantastic Four should have done much better. I'm not saying Fantastic Four did as well as it should have. I'm saying we need to zoom out at the macro of movies, not just comic book movies. And so it's been really hard to be a voice of positivity with people like actually clipping out videos of me and making montages and just being. I wish I had the time to hate anything as much as people hate my joy. Like, I just wish I had the time. But I don't. So I'm just going to enjoy shit and keep spreading that as much as I can while exhausted. Also, everybody's like, you look like you're about to cry. Nah, bruh. Haven't slept. So I appreciate the buoy, the bounce back, the counter programming of your kindness. As I try to counter program the inane stupidity of the internet, I appreciate you trying to counter program the amount of crap I get on the daily, which does, even off social media, it does add up, man. Even the comments on this page, I delete them. But because I want you guys to be safe here. I want, this to be a good back of the comic store at a good shop that we can all bond and connect over this art. So thank you very much is my point. I appreciate it, man. Chris, thank you very much, Chris, for the super chat. How do you think the X-Men will look in the MCU? Very comic-y. I think the X-Men are going to be in Jim Lee kind of costumes. I think we're going to see a lot of yellow and blue. I think we're going to see a lot of what should have been that. Remember the not post-credit. Remember that one scene at the very end of X-Men Apocalypse? For one scene, and then the next movie they look like crap again. I think we're going to see comic accurate. I think we're going to see Storm in either her black comic suit or her white animated series. I think we're going to see Scott in his blue and yellow. I think we're going to see Wolverine in his brown and yellow. I think we're going to see some glory. I hope Wolverine's not in the first film, but I think when we get him, it'll be brown and yellow. I think we're going to get a lot of really cool stuff very soon, and I'm very excited about it. So comic accurate, probably leaning Jim Lee is what I'm thinking, Chris. Two more, and then we're going to talk about Supermans. Thank you, Duger. Duger with the very big, very kind super chat, Duger. Thank you very much, man. For the house fund, so appreciate you and all that you do. Hell yeah. Appreciate that very much, man. Duger, always good to see you. One of the two great Dougs of KoiCast. Guys, I'm going to make this Duger moment plug for KoiCast. I have a podcast called KoiCast. You can listen to it wherever you stream your pods. We're talking Spotify. We're talking iHeartRadio. We're talking, iTunes, wherever you stream your pods. But it's every other week with my buddy Jake. Duger has been there from the beginning. We talk pop culture. We review all sorts of stuff. And then we have a Patreon pod where we review everything we've watched. But I want to tell you also about my own Patreon, patreon.com/KoiJandro. I'm about to tell you guys my favorite comics of the week. These being my favorite 4 out of my favorite 9. But over there, you guys can see what I thought of every comic I read. I read about 30 to 40 new, about 20 old. So, between 50, 60, sometimes 70 comics a week. I rate A, B, C, C+, C, C-. all the comics I read over there on Patreon, patreon.com/Kojandro. So if you guys want to know what I thought of all the comics every single week, check out Patreon. I'm actually uploading today's books, like the books I just read from the 6th. We are up to date from this Wednesday. I'm uploading those on Patreon tomorrow. And I also do all the movies and TV shows. So check out patreon.com. It's $5. $5 to know what I thought of everything. If you and I align, it can save you some money on buying comics, or you can find new comics you want to buy and jump in them there. So it's also good if you have Marvel Unlimited. Check back in 3 months and see what books I was digging and kind of jump into there. So you can do more than $5, but $5 and up gets you access to everything. So check it out. Thank you very much, Duger, for allowing me to plug and for the kind super chat. What do you think the tone for X-Men will be? Very much like Thunderbolts. I think it's going to be a lot about mental health. I think it's going to be about the community being hated and feared, what it's like to be an underdog, what it's like to be an outsider, what it's like to feel like you don't belong in a world that hates and fears you. I think it is going to be very topical. I think it's going to be very much about the divisions in the world, and I think it's going to be dark, and it's going to be great. I'm very excited for Jake Schreier to take over that franchise. I think he's going to be crushing it. So, all right, we're going to take a second to do the last news of the day, and then we're going to do our last super chats, or our next, sorry, we have more. You guys are throwing more in, which I appreciate. I'm not leaving until every super chat is answered. I promise you that. So we're going to do more super chats here in a minute, but I do want to talk about Superman. Man, oh man, do I need sleep? Superman. I'm doing a Sunday stream because I really wanted to catch up on comics with you guys. My next stream is going to be Friday, by the way, because I'm hoping to read all of Wednesday's comics by Friday and do it on time, like early this week in comics to you guys. That week's books. This week's books on Sunday, I'm very proud of. So that's why we're doing the Sunday stream. All right. So Superman, you lovelies, broke 2 records this week. One of them is a domestic 2025 record. The other of them is an all-time Superman record. The first, it is now officially the number 3 domestic movie of the year. Superman has passed Jurassic World domestically. I'm very stoked both Jurassic World and, another Niza and some other movies are doing well internationally, making the money we need to keep theaters open. But it's really cool to see people domestically show up repeatedly for Superman. Superman has passed $323 million as of yesterday, which means the other record it broke is it is the number 1 ever domestic movie, box office wise, for a movie starring Superman. It has passed Batman versus Superman, which had been number 1 for a Superman movie. A while ago, it passed Superman, the Man of Steel film, and now it has passed all Supermen. It is officially the number 1 domestic box office for a Superman film ever, and it is the number 3 domestic 2025 film. Now, it is August. I imagine Avatar and another, few movies are gonna, but it's really cool to see Superman hit number 3. That means it will be in the top 10 of the year, no matter what. I'm really stoked. I love the film. I'm really excited for it. And that brings me to the other thing, which is, guys, I keep getting messages of people just talking shit, saying like, but it hasn't even broken even yet. It has. And also everyone's like, well, the math of the movie, if it costs this much and this much, you have no idea what movie accounting is. There is so much that comes from brand deals and what markets are in, like what brand markets are in the film and what those team ups are, all of the things they do in commercials, all of the toy sales and merchandise. There's so much that goes into, it's not one-to-one. It's not like movies get half, they get half, and then marketing is double, so it needs to make $650. No, that's not true. So it is not at a loss. It is doing great. I'm stoked for it. I wish internationally it had done better, but I say I'm Canadian when I travel. It is a tricky time to have a character so associated with America, even though this iteration is a very worldwide character. Even though Superman is truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, it's a very Americana character. It's an icon of Americana, which I love. But that right now isn't trending as well. And I don't know if we'll ever have the market in China like we used to. So that is a thing we need to incorporate into expectations of international box office. So yeah, I'm very stoked for those 2 records being broken in the last few days. And I'm very excited to see where it goes next, because it is coming to digital, which is a bummer to rush it out that quickly, in my opinion. But I'm curious how it does on digital and what more money it can make. But yeah, all right, back to super chats, and then we're going to talk about the comics themselves, ya lovelies. All right, first up, we've got Samir with a super chat saying, Another 60% drop for F4 might not make 500 million. Yeah, I'm so bummed about that, man. It is better than that. Like, I know box office isn't everything. Box office does not equal quality, or my precious Fight Club, my favorite movie of all time, would have been a huge hit, and it failed at the box office. It's a cult classic now, but Fantastic Four deserves better. I think rushing movies to Disney Plus has really hurt everything. I think every streamer has very irrevocably damaged the movie industry. I think there's a lot of problems. I might make a video about what I think it would take to fix the theatrical industry. And I love that industry. It's my favorite industry. Not this week, but maybe one day. But I do think that streaming has been very, very bad. And Disney Plus, I think, is really affected Fantastic Four. So yeah, it's a bummer. I think it will, like Thunderbolts, find an audience there, and I hope it does well enough to keep things moving and grooving. Luckily, franchises as big as the MCU, each film does help kind of dollar cost average the other. So this will probably not make a profit. I hope it clears 500 million. I don't know what the movie math is for that movie. I know it looked expensive. I was just saying with Superman that there are so many things. Like, there are, brands in this film that hopefully paid a good chunk of change. There are commercials that are like tied to this film. The first time I saw Giganto was in a commercial. It did sell toys. So hopefully this 500 million is enough to make it profit, but I don't know, because I don't know movie math. I only know that people think they know, and I know I'm not one of them. I know I don't know, and I hope it makes its money. All right. The 60% drop makes me sad, but I appreciate the super chat very much, Samir. Frida, thank you very much, Frida, for the super chat. How do you think they could bring Wanda back? I think that Wanda will come back in Doomsday, and I don't think she's dead. I think we didn't see a body, and that's comics. I do think this multiversal element of Wanda will be a factor. I think Doom and the magic will be a factor. I think she'll be back in Doomsday. I think Liz Olsen will be in Doomsday and Secret Wars, and then I think all of that goes away. I think we get a Scarlet Witch in the X-Men. Maybe. I think she's a very popular character. She's very tied to X-Men. I could easily see her being incorporated into X-Men. I'd love to see Wanda and Pietro in an X-Men world as the, in my opinion, canon son and daughter of Magneto. I could see that happening and getting a new Wanda and Pietro as soon as like X-Men 2. So I could see Secret Wars kind of ending that continuity and then going forward there. We will see. All right. Commandalorian. That is a fun name. Commandalorian, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Commandalorian, first ever super chat. Oh, hell yeah. I'm honored. Thank you, man. No question. Oh, thank you. Just want to express my appreciation for the passion, work effort, and professionalism I've seen you demonstrate over the years. You're the GOAT. You know what? That means the world, man. It has been a very, 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 very long few months on this internet journey. So I appreciate that dearly. I try to stay upbeat, but it is not easy and it is not always possible. But I appreciate that you guys get something positive out of what I bring to the internet. I always want people to feel joy with this art, man. It is so special to be living in a time where any of this is possible. To have anyone spend $200 million on movies out of the comics I've loved my whole life is such a special thing. And I just want to share that with you guys. So I appreciate it. The hard part is the other people. So you guys really make it worth it. And I really appreciate that, Commandalorian. And thank you for the first ever super chat. It warms my heart. Thank you. Truly means a lot. ARS. I'm not sure where. Oh, sorry. Hugh. Sorry. ARS is the type of denomination. I don't know where ARS is from, but Hugh. Thank you very much. Hey, Coy, big fan from Argentina. Immediately answered my question. Argentinian funds from Hugh. Thank you for the super chat. Really loving the comic book recommendations from you and really hyped by all the Spider-Man things from filming. Hope you're doing great. Thank you. I am doing very well. Overall, I'm back to the gym. I'm down 4.5 pounds. I've been on a pretty crazy cut. I am going to go do the Escape Pod today. Spoiler alert for future episode of the Escape Pod. I'm going to go film that here in about an hour. And I'm just trying to have a Sunday. It's a working Sunday because most of my life is working, but I'm trying to enjoy as much as I can in the journey. And I appreciate that very much from Argentina. And thank you for asking, man. And I'm excited for Spider-Man 2, dude. So excited. Really appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Cosmic Reader. I don't know what he had said. It says message retracted. So Cosmic Reader, I'm just going to thank you for the super chat and assume you weren't swearing at me or something. Or maybe I answered your question before I got to it. But either way, Cosmic Reader, thank you very much. Let's see. Dan V 900 coming in hot. Dan V, good to see you. Good to see you, Dan. Post-COVID, China no longer doing well for superhero films is the most underreported box office story. 2018, Venom made 269 mil, and Aquaman made almost 291 mil. No Way Home made 17 mil. I agree. I mean, I brought it up, but I didn't go into the numbers like you just did. That is intense, man. Part 2 of that, Dan V900 follows up with No Way Home making that amount in China is why it didn't hit 2 billion. Rebirth made 77 million in China. Dominion made 157 million there. Not the same. Yeah, like people aren't talking about worldwide isn't the same. That movie Neza made like $2 billion. It's a different market now. Like their stuff is doing well there. Our stuff isn't doing well there. And that's not something we control. So we need to look at our budgets. We need to look at our marketing. We need to look at our expectations. We need to look at all of this. But at the end of the day, if we're saying stuff is failing, it's going to fail even harder. So yes, Fantastic Four is in a rough spot, but everyone like saying the whole superhero genre is dead is going to accelerate that. So everything is in a rough spot, not just superhero stuff. The entire box office needs to recalibrate. We need to look at our systems, change them. I totally agree, man. China is a very underreported thing, and I'm with you there. And I appreciate the super chat, Stan. Good to see you. Hazy Chestnuts. Fun name. A lot going on there. Hazy, thank you. Favorite non-superhero comics graphic novels. Mine is The Nice House on the Lake. Loved it, dude. I'm a big fan of James Tynion IV. His Department of Truth is probably in my top non-superhero stuff on the shelves now. Saga is in my top ever. I'm a big fan of Sex Criminals. Chip Zdarsky, Matt Fraction. I like a lot of not cape stuff. I just don't get to talk about as much. It doesn't do as well. I love World Tree. That's actually in this week's books. World Tree is really good. That's James Tynion IV as well. Those are the ones that come to mind. A lot of Tynion stuff, a lot of Joe Hill stuff, a lot of Brian K. Vaughan stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of really good non-cape stuff. But now Nice House on the Lake and its sequel. I didn't like the sequel quite as much, but Nice House on the Lake is exceptional. I totally agree. That, I believe, is us all caught up. Let's talk comic books, you lovelies. All right. Before I do, and I lose folks, patreon.com/Quadrondro is how this page is possible. Super chats are also how this page is possible. I will not leave without answering every super chat. When we're done with the comics, I'm going to scroll back through and try to hit some of the live chat with the super chats. I will not leave until they're done, and I really, really appreciate you guys throwing those in. This Sunday thing was fun. I've been digging this. Got 200 of you guys in here. Press the like while you're pressing stuff. It helps the algorithm quite a bit, like for the replay and all that jazz. And this one had a big old 2-minute gap of technical difficulties, so I could use the replay. All right. First up, you lovelies, is from the week of August 6th, literally mere days ago. This Wednesday's books, the books that came out this week, I really tried aggressively to get ahead and read for you lovelies so that I could give you my favorite books from this week. The first of them, in alphabetical order, not by order of favoritism, just the alphabet, is Birds of Prey, number 24. This book right here is so good. I love the team dynamic of this group of heroines. I love Big Barda, especially in this book. Big Barda is absolutely a force. One of my favorite DC characters, her and Scott Free, one of my favorite couples. I love the team dynamics. I love the fighting style. I love the comedy. This book is an absolute blast. Next up is going to be Daredevil Cold Day in Hell. This is quite the intense bloodbath. This is Charles Soule writing. He is the guy that brought us a lot of iconic Daredevil. He's crushing it here again. Steve McNiven art. Little known fact, Steve McNiven actually did the storyboarding for The Matrix, an artist I adore. His Spider-Man is how I picture Spider-Man when I'm thinking of the ravaged suit and Not in the Rain. John Romita Jr. is probably the Rain. Anyway, Steve McNiven, one of my favorite Spider-Man artists. Daredevil Cold Day in Hell is like an old man Logan, but for Daredevil. It is badass. It is awesome. It is intense. Definitely recommend checking it out. Next up is going to be Justice League Godzilla versus Kong 2, because this has happened before, issue 3. So this is Godzilla versus Kong, Justice League fighting them second time, third issue. It's so fun. It's so silly. Last year, the Multiverses Collision Course was my big surprise. This year, Eddie Brock Carnage is my big surprise. But this is a definitely on the list of big surprises. I love seeing how the Justice League interacts with the Titans. I love the lore between the different worlds and what they're doing to balance all of the tech and the strength and all these Titans. Lex Luthor being duplicitous, always a good time. Really fun time to see Superman going against Godzilla. And in that inner Earth, not a lot of sun affects Superman. Really smart, really fun way to play it. Next up, the big summer event over at Marvel is almost to its climax. This is probably the penultimate, or maybe there's 2 more issues, but this is a big old issue. I love this summer event. One World Under Doom has been absolutely killing it. This is Ryan North, one of my favorite writers writing right now. Guys, I interviewed Ryan North and I put up a clip and nobody watched it, proving people really, the interview stuff, it's really hard without it being like Tom Cruise to get people to watch interviews. But Ryan North, I put it on my Instagram and my TikTok. I didn't put it on YouTube because the last interview didn't do well, and I'm trying to keep the numbers liking me. But Ryan North and I spoke, and he's incredible. His big summer event has been amazing. Check out that interview. I only posted a little bit of it, but if people add to it, I'll post more. But his summer event is incredible. I love the battle of wits here between Reed and Doom. I love how well spoken they both are. I love how well written this is. You feel both of their writing being true to them. Man, oh man, incredible stuff. One World Under Doom, number 6. Next up is going to be Poison Ivy right here, number 35. I have really enjoyed this solo book for quite some time. G. Willow Wilson has given me such an iconic run. Poison Ivy, this is no exception. Really interesting stuff as she kind of reincorporates herself back into the real world, the regular world. Next up is going to be Ultimate Wolverine, number 8. This right here is my favorite of this title so far. This is my favorite issue of Ultimate Wolverine so far. This is brutal. It's a great commentary on the weapon that is Weapon X. It is looking at how, in this case, Winter Soldier Wolverine balances his morality, and it has a lot of really intense stuff. It's a very surprising issue right here with other X-Men involved, and it's a bloodbath that is really good narrative to really paint the picture of this world of X-Men, and I really dig that issue quite a bit. Next up, we've got the Uncanny X-Men, number 19. This is from Gail Simone, who has written some of my favorite Deadpool, and she is bringing Deadpool into her Uncanny X-Men book. This is such a fun issue. It's like, heroes always fight. This one does it really well. The art from Marquez is absolutely stunning. Like, Marquez's art is just so... People need to talk about Marquez more, man. Like, it is just so beautiful in fighting, in dialogue, in everything. Marquez's art is just like... I feel like this needs to be... in the Dan Mora conversation of holy crap, Marquez's great work. And then the last one is going to be World Tree. World Tree is one of the weirdest comics out there right now. It deals with the undernet. It deals with the dark side of the web, but in a corrupting virus sort of way. Interesting commentary on the internet of our reality. But this issue is a big action-packed issue where we got a moment to breathe for a second and things happen. And I really think it's well-paced, and I think James Tynion is a genius. You're only 17 issues behind. Get on this book. It's a hell of a thing. I am loving it. And the last book, sorry, not World Tree, the last book, I do 9, my favorites. That way it's a little grid on Patreon. That way there's 3x3. My last of these is going to be Chris Claremont gathering one of his miniseries from the 80s and republishing it as one issue. And it is so freaking good. I've never read this. This missed me somehow. Chris Claremont, Wolverine, number 1. This is such a fun throwback 80s story featuring all the X-Men fighting Sabretooth. It is brutal. It is bloody. It is hard art. It is so freaking good. Highly recommend this, especially if you like throwback X-Men stuff. That, you lovelies, is going to do it for my favorite 9 comics from this week. We finally did one this week. That's why this Sunday live stream, we are going to be doing a live stream hopefully on Friday, and I'll have all the comics from the 13th. The comics that are coming out on the 13th that I'll be reading are, I had it written down. These are the books I'm going to be picking up this week at my local comic shop. And then on Friday, I'll tell you guys my favorite 9 of these. The comics coming out this Wednesday in 3 days that I'm reading are Action Comics 1089, Aquaman number 8, Batman and Robin 24, Batman Dark Patterns number 9. So excited for that. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, League of Justice number 2, Bring on the Bad Guys Red Skull, Daredevil number 24, Eddie Brock Carnage number 7, Fantastic Four number 2, Fire and Ice Smallville number 5, Giant Size X-Men number 2, Green Lantern Corps number 7, Laura Kinney Wolverine number 9, Magic number 8, Miles Morales Spider-Man 36, Minor Arcana number 9. That one's been out. I just haven't gotten my copy from Boom yet, so I'm hoping I get it this week. New Champions number 8, Predator Kills the Marvel Universe number 1, Something is Killing the Children 43, came out last week. Haven't read it yet. Waiting on my copy from Boom. Boom, I want it. I want to read it so bad. Spider-Man Wolverine number 4, Supergirl number 4, Superman Kryptonite Spectrum number 1, They Chose Violence number 2, This Ends Tonight, Trinity Daughter of Wonder Woman number 3, Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 3, Ultimates 15, and X-Men number 20 are the comics I'm reading this week, you lovelies. That is going to do it for this week in comics. We talked Batman 2. We talked Spider-Man Brand New Day. We talked Superman box office. We talked my favorite 9 comics from last week. We talked all sorts of super chats. I'm going to very quickly thank everyone that sent in a super chat and try to also check on the live chat real quick for the next 2 minutes. And then I got to jump into 3 minutes. And then I got to head to go film the escape pod. Christian Unpronounceable with a super chat coming in clutch. Last minute, Christian Unpronounceable saying just a little something for the house fund. Love you, Coy. Christian, thank you very much, man. Means a lot. I miss doing break room, but it's good to see you followed me on my journey here. Those guys are great. Hope they're crushing it. Hope you're still enjoying that chat as well. But I miss doing it. It's good to see you in my chat. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it. Let's see. Uncanny X-Men is so good. Eddie Nexus. Fast Runner. I love the current Uncanny run as well. The art in that book is phenomenal. I agree. Ozvanet 1138. Timmy says it's his favorite. MF Doom quote in issue 1. That is the Doom. That's just a Dr. Doom book. That is a Doom book separate of all this. That was, I believe, Hickman. Can't wait to get my copy of Cold Day in Hell. I am excited for you as well. Reed does look like that bug lady. Tomorrow, Lauren, rugby player. I'm going to look over Big Barda. Oh, that's fun. Ryan Anderson, hello. Pruser coming back in and having a conversation. Good to see a pillow sleeper. I sleep on pillows as well. Calm down, Rudge. Good to see you, man. Let's see. John Burkhart. Thank you for the super chat, John Burkhart. John says, hey, Coy, have you ever read Curse Words? Just finished volume 2 and loving it. Curse Words. I don't know what that is. Let me look it up. Curse Words, volume 2. No, I've not read this. It's an Image comic. Came out in 2017. Charles Soule. No, I will add that to my very long queue of when I've got a gap in comics. Like right now, I'm excited to be finally caught up. I went out of town and fell behind. Now I'm caught up. But when I get another gap, Curse Words, Charles Soule, I love. So I will add that to my stack. Thank you for the recommendation, John Burkhart. I appreciate that very much. I wonder how the current Ultimate Universe will have turned out if Donny Cates would have done it before he couldn't and given Hickman. I'm curious about that as well, man. I think about that sometimes. Comic Coy doesn't know. It does happen. It does happen. Timmy Pizzas, do you read Department of Truth? It's been my favorite ongoing book for the last few years. Timmy Pizzas, I literally was talking about non-superhero books 20 minutes ago, and Department of Truth is my favorite current non-superhero book. So I'm with you. I love Department of Truth. It's actually one of my favorite, like 5 books on the shelves in general, but it's my absolute favorite non-superhero book. I'm with you there. Richard Fearing, I appreciate the kind words very much. Yes, we do need pillows. Pillow Sleeper, just bringing the truth out, just coming in here with the heat. Michael McCarsell, it's good to see my moderator be able to make it. I got 4 moderators. Michael McCarsell is an OG. Good to see the lover of Nightwing make the chat today. I saw him in here earlier. Want to give some thanks. Duger, good to see you, man. I'm going to make Duger a moderator. Boom, Duger, you have been made a moderator. You've been knighted, Duger. I want to make sure that the OGs feel the love, and I want to make sure the people that have been with me from the beginning, whenever I see them pop up in here, they get knighted. All right, I think that is going to have the last act of this show will be knighting Duger. Yes, we need Kyle Rayner in the DCU. It is a fear. Actually, let's make this the last thing. I'm going to do a video on this too when I do the room tour. But yeah, so basically, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Green Lantern, Guardians of the Galaxy, Catwoman, Guinness, Hunter S. Thompson, Tyler Durden, And then this is fun because this is Hunter S. Thompson, and it's written in the words of Fear and Loathing. And then this is the Fear and Loathing issue of Deadly Class. So these are paired. And then Superman Alex Ross, and then Jim Lee's Batcat there, and then Dune on the far end. And then we got some Childish Gambino, some Tupac and some Eminem, into Halsey, Barbie, and Prodigy. So that's a little bit of Music Row with some Barbenheimer mixing it up. And then beneath me, we've got Legion, Daredevil, the Monkey Listening to Music, which is just my music vibe, Rango, which I love dearly, some Spider-Gwen, and we've got Train Spotting to wrap us out. But I'll explain all those at length when I do that room tour, which I'm planning on doing. Hey, we got one more, and then I'm going to leave after nighting. Last one before I get out of here, you lovelies. Matt Krugman, grab a beer on me during your Jurassic Super Fantastic feature. Thank you, man. I'm trying to do that this week, hopefully Wednesday. That is the dream. I'm hoping to go to the comic store and do that and have the best day ever. I thank you for you know what? I'm going to use that on a beer. I promise you that will go towards my next beer. I appreciate that. Good to see you doing well, my man. Glad I was free again when you went live, and thanks for always increasing my love of comics. Thank you very much. I appreciate you lovelies very much. This is in a store somewhere. Jasmine, my social media person, put it on somewhere. You can find this. But yeah, hello, you lovelies. I appreciate you lovelies. That is going to do it. I will see you all very soon. On Friday is the next live. Next week's schedule is on Tuesday. I'm going to be putting out my Alien Earth episode 1 and 2 review. I'm going to be covering Alien Earth going forward. It's amazing. You can count on a Nobody 2 review as well. I believe that will be on Monday or Tuesday, and then Alien Earth. So Nobody 2, Alien Earth, going to be covering every episode of the season. It's so freaking good. And then I'm going to be covering Nobody, the movie. And then Friday, we're going to be doing another live stream. So 3 to 4 videos next week. Nobody, Alien Earth, another live stream, and maybe another Theater Nobody. Time will tell. Until then, I will see you all very soon. Thank you for being here. Remember, Monday, Out of the Theater, Nobody 2, if I get a chance. Tuesday, Nobody, if the embargo's up, but definitely an Alien Earth 1 and 2 at 5 o'clock. And then Nobody back up is Thursday. And then Friday, back here for a live. Okay. Have a Sunday. Enjoy your weekend, doll. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who threw in a super chat. Thank you for everyone who threw in a regular chat. And thank you to Comic Books for existing. I appreciate y'all.